Hey guys, it's Cody. If you're like me and you've played Ascension and you can see the value that it brings to the WoW community, then I would implore you to explore this website that I made. It's called Let Ascension Prove Its Value, License Ascension, under the URL saveascension.org. Now, we've got 7 signed members to this petition so far. The goal is 25,000 before BlizzCon. And ideally before September 8th is when they are due for a defense response Ascension. So we would like to show Blizzard the signal that is obviously there. But it's important for it to be formalized. So each petition is backed by a registered email. I want you to understand this very clearly, that all of the information that we're collecting on this website, as far as names and emails go, it is all anonymous, all private. We will not share this information. As you go through this, you'll see that you have to put your email in. It will send you an email confirmation. So every name is attached to a very particular email. This is how all websites, make things more formal with signing up for anything, as you, I'm sure, know. So that's something that I've set up. I'm a web developer by trade. This is just, one of my bodies of work. And I think it really does mean a lot to me because I have been playing this game, Ascension, for the past few months now, or month and a half, 2 months. And it's incredible. It's truly incredible. There's so many abilities that I'm able to do on a character that makes my character feel so much more immersed in its identity. A lot of people think that, you're giving too much class ability. For instance, I don't know if you've ever played Rune Master, but I've been maining Rune Master, and I recently got this spell. I forget what it's called, but it's basically equivalent to EverQuest. Bind Affinity. EverQuest is a massive multiplayer online game that I played when I was 10 years old, up through my early 20s. There was a spell that's called Bind Affinity that you could cast on yourself or cast on somebody else, and they would accept the binded soul to that location. So when you die, you would go back to where your soul was bound, or you could gate back to where your soul was bound. So there was another spell called Gate, very similar to Hearthstone, right? So you hearth back to your end location. So this spell for Rune Master allows you to spin up this portal, and that portal allows you to bind your soul to hearth, to create an inn, quote unquote, to anywhere in the game. So I set it up at a farming location, and I have my Orgrimmar stone that I teleport to Orgrimmar, and then I'll sell things or whatever, do my main city stuff, and then boom, I'll hearth back to the location that I put my last little portal at, and it stays forever. It's truly just interesting, incredible work done by this team. So it's just one of many, 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 many examples, and I'm such a noob still. I'm only level 35 in Ascension, but I've just been taking my time. So this here is a website that I created, License Ascension. You can go right into signing the petition and putting your information there. It'll ask are you a current WoW subscriber? Would you be willing to pay X amount of dollars to ultimately play Ascension under the Blizzard Entertainment umbrella if they gave a real license to the game? Now, what could that actually mean? Well, let's go back a bit and look at that. So, for instance, maybe a 12-month evaluation period, demand-led, right? Depends on how many people sign up. Blizzard is willing to take anybody's money, and they have the servers to run a high-demand game in it. So, for instance, how many people would play License Ascension? Well, let's start with the number of people who could play if Blizzard offered Ascension through a licensed path. Okay, so if that was 50,000, or maybe 100,000, right? 100K is the middle financial example. It is a scenario, not a cap or guaranteed audience, right? Okay, so we'll go to the next page here. What percentage do not have a WoW subscription today? So out of that 100,000, a lot of people have both a WoW subscription and they play Ascension for free, or they, donate through the donation point system, et cetera, et cetera. So, but you don't have to with Ascension right now. But what if was embedded in the WoW ecosystem. So 20% would be like a middle example, would play License Ascension, 100,000, already subscribed to WoW. There's probably a high popularity of people. Some people are not subscribed to WoW and play only private servers, and some people are subscribed to WoW and play private servers. So, middle example, higher example, you can kind of experiment here. I'm going to keep it middle of the road for this example next to subscription revenue. So how much could those subscriptions bring Blizzard ultimately? So only people who do not currently subscribe are counted as potential new subscription revenue in this example. So people who could become new or returning subscribers, that would be 100,000 times 20%. That's 20,000 new subs. That would illustrate $3,597,600 in annual revenue. So that is, you see 20,000 times $14.99, which is the current monthly subscription plus or times that 12-month period. Okay. Next, now this is a little bit of an experiment, thought experiment here. What would a $5 License Ascension fee generate? So this would be an add-on to the current WoW subscription because, they would be adding on, technically adding on new servers, potentially new oversight of development team, et cetera, et cetera. This example adds a separate $5 monthly Ascension access fee for every licensed player. Now, alongside the current required WoW subscription, so that'd be $5 times 12, $60 per individual. So that would be annual gross fee pool, 100,000 players times 5 times 12 months. So those would be all the different players that currently have their WoW sub that are, they say, hey, would you like to add on a subscription, the $5 plus subscription to play Ascension's, kind of classic plus, if you will, example, or just Ascension WoW, and that's what that would look like. So how could Blizzard and Ascension divide the fee? Well, this is a pretty cut to the chase, even the middle keel example of 50-50. The contract could set the real terms, right? This example divides the proposed fee pool equally, so both sides have a clear reason to participate. We got Blizzard's illustrative 50% share, Ascension's illustrative 50% share. Pretty easy to understand. Now, what could Blizzard receive in 1 year with 100,000 licensed players, which honestly is pretty fair because there's many more players than that, especially within experimental WoW Classic Plus space. It's very, very popular. This example assumes 20,000 would need to start or restart a WoW subscription, right? So we have that $6,597,600. This is the potential additional Blizzard gross in 1 year under this particular example. Okay, so what could Ascension receive in 1 year? This example gives Ascension half of the proposed $5 monthly access fee so it can operate and continue development. That would be $3 million annual gross. So what could a licensed path create in 1 year? Together, the example creates additional Blizzard revenue, operating revenue for Ascension, and a license way for players to ultimately support both. So total annual gross created by this example, well, that would be $9,597,600 potential Blizzard gross and potential Ascension gross. This is not including any other sort of cash shop opportunities. This is just based on the WoW subscription and that $5 add-on that we are looking at. And then at the end here, it goes into signing the petition ultimately. And as you see, as of right now, let's refresh the page. We have 7 verified signatures. We're looking to get that goal of 25,000. I'd really love to see 100 signatures by the end of next week. That would make me super happy. And yeah, I just think this would be exactly kind of what the community needs to help Blizzard understand exactly where we are going, where we're looking at here, and ultimately, bounding the community together. If we can stand as one to fight for a particular cause, fight for a game that we really like to play, Blizzard will listen to that. It's been proven in the past that they listen to the community when the community is organized. But if it's just like, flaming in the forum comments or random, YouTube comment chatters with no bounded, organized, coalesced army, then we're just going to get squashed. We're going to get eaten alive by the Blizzard raid boss. So guys, let's do this, man. Why not? Like, sign the petition if you're okay with doing it. Again, everything is kept private. If we ever need to publicize any particular names, that is something that you would opt into, and that would be a kind of, you would have to re-sign that. I would not be using anything from this petition signing. So just let you know, everything's private, and I really hope that you guys consider being a part of this movement. And I really appreciate all of the support. This channel has 5 times growth. What is that? Penta? 4 times? Yeah, more than triple, 4-5 times growth in the past 3 weeks. So really has been awesome to see the growth. I really appreciate all the support, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you comfortable with signing a petition like this? Would you be willing to pay upwards of $20 a month to play all of the regular Blizzard World of Warcrafts as well as Ascension WoW as an add-on? If you are a Blizzard employee, please reach out to me, Cody at frg.earth. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. I'd love to do an interview with one of you guys if you're open to discussing this, because I feel like a lot of these discussions are behind closed doors, and they're yeah, it's not me, but we're suing these guys. You know what I mean? I think everything is better out in the open to openly discuss. I think, whether it's classic development, whether it's, new features, new things that are coming into the game, having proper polling and having proper development Q&A with the fan base is just really, really important. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you so much, and have a great rest of your mornings or evenings or afternoons. And peace out. Thank you so much.
Personally, I hold the position, you've heard me talk about it before, that Blizzard, instead of shutting down these damn servers, maybe should consider the idea of hosting on Blizzard realms, official Blizzard realms, in California and Europe and whatever. When people play on Blizzard Ascension WoW, some sort of math algorithm that happens in the background where the developers of the server that people are playing on, they get a small percentage of that $15 a month that person is playing. I think that would be great. That would be a way of Blizzard, instead of punishing the creativity of the community, instead of squandering or suppressing the potential for World of Warcraft's longevity through fan-created content, fans creating content for fans. Look at Skyrim, look at any game with a huge modding community. Instead of Blizzard just crucifying that, why doesn't Blizzard embrace it? Blizzard's been fighting these private servers for years. Why not read the writing on the wall and accept the fact that, hey, maybe Blizzard, maybe the fans know what they want more than you do. Maybe even at this point, it's a straight punch to the ego, but maybe, just maybe, the fans even know how to make a better version of World of Warcraft than you do. I would bet $1 that if Blizzard announced everything that Ascension is announcing with their 21 class Bronzebeard server that they're releasing in July, up on BlizzCon, up on the movie stage or whatever, and said, hey, this is our version of Classic Plus, this is what we're releasing ourselves, people would lose their minds. They would think it's incredible.